Listen to me. Too many of you are wasting time looking left and right, scrolling through people's lives, comparing what you don't have to what they got. You watching their cars, their houses, their vacations, their followers, and you losing focus on the only thing that really matters, yourself. That's why you stuck. You so busy trying to compete with somebody else that you haven't even realized the biggest opponent you'll ever face is the person looking back at you in the mirror. That's the one you gotta beat every single day. When you wake up in the morning, the first question you gotta ask yourself is not, what are they doing? But am I better than I was yesterday? Because if you're not measuring yourself against your own growth, you're wasting the fight. You can't keep chasing what somebody else is doing because you don't know their story. You don't know what they had to go through. You don't know what shortcuts they took. You don't know the price they paid behind closed doors. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. You got your own race. You got your own lane. And the only thing that should matter is how much better you're getting day after day. The truth is, comparison steals your energy. It drains you. You looking at somebody else's progress, and instead of getting inspired, you start getting bitter. You start feeling like you're not enough, like you're behind, like you'll never catch up. And that's the trick. That's how you lose before the fight even starts, because you too busy measuring yourself with the wrong ruler. But when you flip it and you start saying, did I grow today? Did I give more effort than I gave yesterday? Did I push harder, think sharper, live stronger? That's when you start winning. That's when you start unlocking the real version of you. Understand this. Your greatest competition is yesterday's version of yourself. You don't need to be better than your friend, better than your coworker, better than your neighbor. You need to be better than the you that went to bed last night. And if you keep stacking those wins, if you keep improving little by little, brick by brick, I promise you it adds up over weeks, over months, over years. You become unstoppable. Because now you're not distracted. You're not discouraged. You're not derailed by somebody else's timeline. You're locked in on your own journey. I know some of you thinking, but they're ahead of me. Let me tell you something. Your timing is your timing. You don't need their speed. You need your consistency. You don't need their applause. You need your discipline. Life ain't about who gets there first. It's about who stays in the race, who doesn't quit, who keeps going when it gets hard. And the truth is, half the people you're comparing yourself to, they won't even finish. So why waste time worrying about them? The real question is, will you? Every day when I wake up, I'm not worried about somebody else's grind. I'm looking in the mirror asking, can I outwork yesterday's me? Can I outthink yesterday's me? Can I outgrow yesterday's me? That's the challenge. And I don't always win. There are days I slip, days I fall short, days I don't hit the mark. But even then, I don't quit. I hold myself accountable. And I get up the next day ready to try again. Because the goal ain't perfection. The goal is progress. And that's what you gotta lock into. Progress. Stop chasing people and start chasing growth. Stop running somebody else's race and start running yours. The world doesn't need another copy of them. It needs the best version of you. The only way you become that is by focusing on your own lane, your own grind, your own journey. That's how you win. That's how you elevate. That's how you live the life you were created to live. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, I need you to stop and remember this. You're not in competition with them. You're in competition with you. And the only victory that matters is becoming better than the person you were yesterday. Everybody in this room got dreams. Everybody got goals. You talk about what you want. You talk about where you want to go, the life you see yourself living. But let's be real. Dreams don't move just because you say them out loud. They don't shift just because you post about them or you wish for them or you cry about them. Dreams only move when you do. That's the difference between people who stay stuck in someday and people who actually touch what they praying for. The separator is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between what you see in your head and what you hold in your hands. Discipline is what takes the picture you painted in your imagination and makes it a reality in your life. You can have all the talent in the world, but talent without discipline is wasted. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you don't know how to lock in, how to grind when it's not fun, how to keep going when nobody's watching, then you'll never see the fullness of what's inside you. Everybody loves the dream, but not everybody loves the process. That's where discipline comes in, because the process ain't always pretty. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it feels like it ain't working. You get up early when your body says sleep. You study when your friends are out having fun. You keep running when your legs are burning. That's discipline. And most people quit there because they thought the dream was just supposed to fall in their lap. But the ones who make it, the ones who rise above, they understand discipline is the cost of admission. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'm going to start tomorrow, and then tomorrow never came? How many times have you promised yourself change, but you keep slipping back into old habits? That's not because you don't want it. That's because wanting it isn't enough. Desire lights the fire, but discipline keeps it burning when the wind is blowing, when the rain is falling, when everything around you says stop. That's the difference. Let me be clear. Discipline doesn't always feel good. It's not about feelings. It's about commitment. Some days you won't feel like showing up, but discipline says do it anyway. Some days you won't feel motivated, but discipline says push anyway. Some days you won't see results, but discipline says stay anyway. Discipline is loyalty to the future version of you, not the comfort of the present version. And if you can be loyal to that future you, if you can show up for them every single day, then one day that future becomes your present. I hear people say, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting to feel ready. Let me help you out. There will never be a perfect time. You will never feel completely ready. The only thing you have is now. And the only thing that will carry you from now to next is discipline. Discipline turns minutes into milestones, hours into habits, and days into destiny. Look at the greatest athletes, the greatest leaders, the greatest minds. None of them got there by talent alone. Talent opened the door, but discipline kept them in the room. While everybody else was sleeping, they were grinding. While everybody else was distracted, they were locked in. While everybody else made excuses, they made adjustments. That's the mindset you gotta have if you really want to see change. And I promise you, discipline pays off. You may not see it right away, but over time it builds. It compounds. One disciplined choice after another. One small action stacked on top of another. That's how you transform. That's how you wake up one day and realize you're living the life you used to only dream about. So stop just talking about what you want. Stop waiting on motivation to show up. Stop expecting your dreams to work without you working. If you want it, you gotta be disciplined enough to chase it every single day, even when it hurts, even when it's hard, even when it feels like it's not happening. Because at the end of the day, discipline is the bridge. And if you're not willing to cross it, you'll never reach the other side. Some of you are exhausted, not because you're putting in the work, but because you're pouring your energy into things you can't control. You wake up worried about what people think about you. You go through the day stressed about circumstances you can't change. You lose sleep over opinions, over outcomes, over situations that were never in your hands to begin with. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel stuck, because you're fighting battles that don't belong to you. The truth is, you only got control over a few things in life. And if you don't learn to master those, you're going to waste your entire life chasing shadows. You can't control how people treat you. You can't control the opportunities that come your way. You can't control every setback, every obstacle, every storm. But you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your mindset. And when you lock in on what's in your power, you'll start to see growth. You'll start to see change. You'll start to see results. Most people spend their life angry, bitter, resentful, because they think the world owes them something. They think somebody else's actions are the reason they're not where they want to be. But hear me, life is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. You can't stop the rain from falling, but you can choose whether to sit there and drown or grab an umbrella and keep moving. That's the difference between people who rise and people who sink. It's not the storm, it's their response to the storm. I know you've been through stuff. I know people let you down. I know life hit you with things you didn't see coming. But listen, holding on to what you can't control will chain you down forever. You gotta let it go. You gotta stop replaying the betrayal. Stop reliving the failure. Stop rehearsing the pain. Because every time you feed it your energy, you take energy away from what you can actually change. And if you ever want to step into that next level, you gotta make a decision to shift your focus. When you focus on what's in your control, you take your power back. When you say, I can't control them, but I can control me. I can't control the storm, but I can control my sail. I can't control the outcome, but I can control my effort. That's when you start winning. Because now, instead of being tossed around by everything that happens, you steady yourself, you anchor yourself, you move with intention. Let me make it plain. You can't control the way people talk about you, but you can control whether you let their words stop you. You can't control if doors close in your face, but you can control whether you keep knocking or build your own door. You can't control whether people believe in you, but you can control whether you believe in yourself enough to keep pushing. Every single day, you got a choice to focus on the things that drain you or to focus on the things that build you. And I'm telling you, if you keep giving energy to what's out of your hands, you'll never have the strength to grab hold of what's in your hands. That's why some of you feel empty, because you've been trying to fix what was never yours to fix. But when you redirect that energy into your grind, your growth, your mindset, your discipline, you get stronger, you get wiser, you get closer to the life you've been chasing. Life will always throw things at you that you didn't ask for. That's a guarantee. But if you stop trying to control the uncontrollable and start controlling the controllable, you'll finally realize you were never powerless. You just had your focus in the wrong place. And the moment you shift that focus, the moment you start putting all your energy into your attitude, your effort, your response, that's your growth, that's the moment everything begins to change. So hear me and hear me well. Stop wasting energy on what you can't control and start mastering what you can. Growth is not something that just happens because you want it. Growth is not automatic. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become better, stronger, wiser. Growth is intentional. Growth is a decision you make every single day to invest in yourself, to push past comfort, to stretch beyond what feels easy. Too many people are stuck not because they lack potential, but because they stopped growing. They got comfortable, they settled, they thought who they were yesterday was enough for tomorrow. But listen to me, if you are not growing, you are dying. If you are not moving forward, you are falling behind. You gotta make growth non-negotiable. It's not something you do once in a while when you feel like it. It's not something you put off until you have time. Growth is daily. It's in the way you think. It's in the way you spend your time. It's in the way you choose your circle. Every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every new challenge you embrace, that's an investment into a stronger you. And just like money grows when you invest it, your life grows when you invest in your mind, your spirit, your character. The problem is most people want the results of growth without the sacrifice of growth. They want wisdom without study, success without discipline, promotion without preparation. It doesn't work that way. You can't expect a harvest from seeds you never planted. You gotta sow into yourself if you want to reap from yourself. And I'm not talking about just waiting for opportunities to come. I'm talking about preparing so when opportunity shows up, you're ready to grab it. Growth means you stop blaming your past and start building your future. It means you stop using excuses and start creating execution. Growth means you don't just surround yourself with people who make you comfortable. You put yourself around people who challenge you, who push you, who demand more out of you. Because if everybody around you is okay with you staying the same, then you're in the wrong room. The right people will stretch you. They'll hold you accountable. They won't let you settle for mediocrity. And let me be real with you, growth hurts sometimes. It's uncomfortable. It feels like pressure. But that's what growth is. Pressure shaping you into who you're supposed to be. Just like a diamond is formed under pressure, your greatness comes out when you push yourself in uncomfortable spaces. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand. Every time you learn something new, you rise. Every time you do something you thought you couldn't, you build a stronger version of yourself. This is why winners keep growing no matter what. They don't wait until life is perfect to develop themselves. They don't say, when things slow down, I'll get better. No. They find a way to grow in the middle of the chaos. They grow when it's hard. They grow when it's painful. They grow when it looks impossible. Because they know the only way to survive, the only way to thrive is to keep evolving. You don't get to where you want to be by wishing. You get there by building. And building is daily. It's small steps, consistent actions, deliberate choices. It's making time to read when you rather scroll. It's choosing to practice when you'd rather sleep. It's deciding to learn when you'd rather be entertained. Growth is not glamorous, but it's powerful. And over time, it compounds. You don't notice it day by day, but months later, years later, you look back and realize you're not even the same person anymore. And that's the goal, to become unrecognizable to the old version of you. To look back and say, I've grown too much to go back to who I was. I've sacrificed too much to stay the same. I've invested too much to quit now. That's what separates those who live in their dreams from those who only talk about them. So hear me, every single day, you need to ask yourself, how did I grow today? Did I learn? Did I stretch? Did I challenge myself? Did I become stronger in some area of my life? Because if the answer is no, then you're not moving toward the life you want. You're standing still. And standing still is not an option if you truly want to change your life. The only way you become the best version of you is if you grow into it day by day, choice by choice, sacrifice by sacrifice. So make the decision right now that growth is not optional. It's the only way forward.